Stressing that Guyana is being proactive instead of reactive, Chief Executive Officer Acting of the Guyana Livestock Development Authority (GLDA), Dr. Dwight Waldron, says that the spread of the bird flu cases in Europe and Asia have attracted the attention of the government, and authorities are closely monitoring the situation. Just 2 days ago, there was reports of several outbreaks of severe bird flu in Europe and Asia. Previous outbreaks have led to the culling of tens of millions of birds. Although Guyana is largely self-sufficient with regards to the poultry production, a limited amount of poultry meat is still imported by some businesses. Against that backdrop, Dr. Waldron said that Guyana is on the alert.
And based on the trend that I am seeing, we will be placing in the future, if it continues like this, we would be left with no other choice but to have a closer look at poultry products that are being imported. Locally, we're self-sufficient with poultry meat.
Outbreaks often lead to trade restrictions with other countries, especially those where there is evidence of the disease. According to Dr. Waldron, the effects of the outbreak across the world is being felt locally. He explained that in the past few months, poultry farmers have signaled their intention to purchase duckling, but the GLDA has been unable to meet the demand.
They would want the black Muscovy or Pekin and so on. For the past few months, we've been unable to repopulate our stock because of what is happening out there. We can't import fresh breeding stock because of those outbreaks.
Guyana has maintained a bird flu-free environment, and Dr. Waldron says the Ministry of Agriculture intends to maintain that status. An outbreak locally, he posited, can cripple the poultry industry and scores of livelihoods.
But when you look at the social implication, a lot of small to medium-sized farmers depend wholly and solely on poultry production as a means of living, especially those in the rural and peri-urban areas.
The Guyana Livestock Development Authority has the obligation to oversee and manage all livestock and disease-related matters locally. Dr. Waldron said that his agency continues to monitor and conduct routine testing to stay ahead of the game as the spread of the bird flu continues in Europe and Asia.
It is important that we continue our surveillance activities to keep that disease out of Guyana. That is why we have a team that is monitoring those activities on a daily basis. And I would also receive highly secretive.
Bird flu spreads between both wild and domesticated birds and can be transmitted to humans who are in close contact with poultry or other birds. There is no clear evidence that the virus can be transmitted from human to human. Just on Wednesday, Nightly News reported that Guyana is also on high alert for the African swine fever (ASV), a virus that affects swine, after cases were reported in the Caribbean. For the HGP Nightly News, Amel Griffith.